I chose a location and an object, which is something you can buy in a location. And that is really the thing that reminds me of home the most. So it's basically a very popular treat in South America called churros, which is basically deep fried dough covered in sugar. It's something we bought just now with Patrick from a place called El Paros Lucos on Fairmount, St. Urban. The reason I chose this food is because as a child, when I was in France, in a small town called Ferney-Voltaire, my mom used to take my sister and myself to the market, and every Saturday there was a little van selling churros. So it was a big hit with the kids. A highlight after following your parents around for several hours buying fruit and vegetables, you could get something covered in sugar that would, give you lots of joy and a sugar rush. So yeah, I decided that would be the thing that reminded me of a sense of being at home, because I've moved places multiple times, both as a child and as an adult, and I don't really have a strict or a very specific sense of what I consider my homeland, or I'm interested in really troubling that notion, and sometimes that is a little bit challenging to define what home really means for me. So that kind of association with food, I think, is often the easiest way to connect you to a time when something you ate in a particular location is an indication of being at home.
En mi país, El Salvador, la costumbre de nosotros tenemos muchos palos de coco. Hay dos clases de palos de coco. Uno que es los grandes, que son hasta 50 metros de alto, y hay otros que tienen una estatura como de 2-3 metros y dan muchos racimos de coco. El coco, para que sea un buen coco, tenemos nosotros que agarrar mucha sal, unas 2 libras, 3 libras de sal, se sube arriba del palo de coco y pone toda la sal arriba en el copo del coco, en el centro, y cuando llueve, viene la lluvia, esa sal se deshace y se viene toda y baña el árbol, y cuando baña el árbol baja a la tierra y entonces entra la sal por las raíces, y cuando entra la sal por las raíces, el coco viene dulce el agua. Y cuando el agua está bien dulce, es que el trabajo en el árbol de coco fue bueno. Pero si no le ponen sal al coco arriba en el árbol, el agua es ácida, no es muy buena para estarla tomando. Eso es lo que nosotros hacemos con los árboles de coco, cuidarlos.
So we stood in the alleyway between, back of Patrick's house. It kind of reminds me of the north of England, like Manchester and Sheffield, I guess. Buildings built in the 1800s, red bricks. Also, the weather's pretty horrible when it's raining, so that reminds me of Manchester. It's always raining in Manchester. Yeah, it's like a part of the heritage of those cities, industrial buildings that then became kind of cultural places. Those are the type of places I used to hang out.
Les églises comme ça me fait penser au Burkina. Il y en a pareil, c'est pas des grosses maisons, c'est pas des grosses églises, c'est juste petit comme ça. Et puis à chaque fois, le quartier là, il y a la musique, ça tape de djembé, ça danse, et puis ça chante, ça loue Dieu. Et puis vraiment, à chaque fois là, il y a l'ambiance, on dirait que c'est une fête. À partir de vendredi, samedi, dimanche, le matin au soir, c'est la musique, et puis ils prient, ils crient fort. Chaque fois que je passe ici, ça me fait penser à ça. Ça me fait penser à ça.
And I also remember when I went to study to the Netherlands, there was like an image of a virgin as well. And also it was a basilica also devoted to a virgin that protected sailors. And I remember that when I felt lost, kind of like a sailor adrift, I also went there to light up a candle and just ruminate about my thoughts. But this would be triggering these thoughts. Now that I am here, I guess I found maybe a new place to go and pray. So it's some kind of universal image that's all over the place, and I can always stick to go to this spiritual place inside of me, but sticking to an object of devotion.